Okay, welcome everybody and anyone joining on the replay. I was just noticing that we have people from like all over the world, every continent, from Canada to the States to Denmark and Australia, so that's pretty cool. If you're on the replay, you can't ask me questions, but I've just invited people to ask me questions once I've talked a little bit about the courses. So I'm assuming most of you are aura transformed. From what I can see, yes. If you're not aura transformed, then you can't do the training. So you would have to have your aura transformation first. That's kind of like the only real requirement. And I think what I would like to talk about, how I'd like to talk about it today, is just kind of inspire the feeling of confidence in the courses and just what a magical experience it is. And I believe that becoming an aura mediator is a real chance to become even more grounded in yourself, more clear about who you are, more in touch with your own power and fire. So much happens during the course. It's like a huge upgrade to yourself, not only to who you work with and what you can offer and deliver afterwards. It's actually the whole process of becoming an aura mediator is pretty magical, quite intense, but it really brings you home to yourself. And I think what I really like to take from it is that we invite you to really be yourself and really become even more of yourself through the process. We're not, it's not like cookie cutters, we're not trying to make aura mediators all the same. It's like we really invite you to bring who you are and to really come into your own power. And that's what the whole aura transformation thing is about. So that's really encouraged. I think a lot of people get nervous, like, oh, I'm not psychic, I'm not clairvoyant, oh, I've never done energy work. There's like a bit of a nervousness that you have to have those as a requirement to train, and it is just not true. We've had all sorts of people train in the past. We've had scientists, geologists, people that have never, ever, ever, ever put their hands on anyone before, and in an energy work sense, and they find their way and their confidence through that process too. So it's really, there isn't any requirement of you to have done this sort of work before, or to I'm just gonna see if I can just do that because it's a bit distracting. So those skills will develop for you. Whatever, we all have different gifts and different talents and different ways of seeing and sensing and being in the world, and those might be amplified through the process of becoming an aura mediator. Well, I can guarantee you it will. So if you feel like I can't see energy or I can't feel energy, you'll find that maybe not immediately, but over time and after the course, it starts really coming into its own. And it probably already has with your aura transformation as well. You might have found you more sensitive, or more sensitive to understanding energy, or being able to perceive patterns already. But this, any clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance, psychic abilities, all that kind of stuff kind of develops with time. And it is not essential even then to have that as a skill. So that's one of the main fears I often hear, so that's just not a thing. So apart from the requirements of joining the course is that you've been aura transformed a minimum of 2 months. I was one of those that slid in like 2 months to the day, so it was like aura transformation exactly 2 months later I trained. But it's just because I knew that that's what I wanted to do, and there are a fair amount of people that end up running into it like that because they know it's the right thing. So it's not like not good, to have rushed the process. If it feels right, it feels right. Obviously, if you've been aura transformed, say a number of years or even longer than that, it's still just as powerful to do the training. You're still going to develop and shift and change through that process. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about how long it was since you had your aura transformation. Whatever, if it feels right to you, then it probably is the right time to do it. The next courses are March the 3rd in Edinburgh. So for the time being, it's Edinburgh, but a lot of people are trying to tell me that London would be easier. So I'm trying to see how we can make that work and make it work for everyone. But either way, it'll be London or Edinburgh. And I think we have a good group already coming together. So it's likely to happen this time, which is great because we've had to cancel a few. Possibly there's been a number of things happen this year. such as Annie Senov dying this summer, which obviously caused ripples and changes in the whole structure and system and people's energy and everything. So that's kind of maybe been a ripple effect. I've been nomad without a home since April, so that's been a lot of shifting and moving for me. That might have not helped either. So there's been a few courses that we have not done for all sorts of reasons and factors. But this one, March the 3rd, I'm pretty sure is going to be full and powerful, and I can really feel it building now. And just the people that are showing up on this call, it's just like it feels like a strong, powerful group coming together. There is another course happening in the same month, but in Finland, Lapland. Both courses are with me and Johanna Sari. So Johanna Sari, I've done three Aura Mediator training courses with her already. We work really well together. We have so much fun. The feedback from the last courses that they didn't realize you could learn so much and have so much fun at the same time. So we're, it's like a good fun team. And so she'll be coming over to do the 3rd of March supporting me. And then I'm going over to her course in Finland to support her, and so we're working together. The one in Finland is likely to be, a different experience. It's, the opportunity to basically be in Lapland, right on the Arctic Circle in the north of Finland. It's quite an experience. She has her own house with an Airbnb house next to it, and it's hers. And she does the course and the training in that second house, and it's like next to a beautiful lake. I have no idea how much snow would be then, but I know that right now she's under huge amounts of snow and digging snow out every day. I think both courses are going to be equally beautiful. I think one thing to know with the Lapland course is that it's in Finnish, but obviously we're going to translate it into English because I'm there too, and there's probably going to be some English speakers there. So there will be, just have to be aware that there'll be Finnish and English happening at the same time. Well, just translate like normal translation style. So just to bear that in mind. And then the one in no, it won't be. I think it's just a small, it's not much. It's much less than renting an Airbnb on your own, for example. Joyce just asked if it was included in the price in Finland. I think it's the same would happen if we were in Edinburgh and London. This is another thing I was going to bring up, is that I'm thinking of renting like a biggish house for the amount of students we have, so that you can all chip in together towards the Airbnb price to make it cheaper for everyone as well. And then we also have somewhere to train and do the sessions and all that kind of thing. But that's just like some details going into that. So the course in London will be entirely London, Edinburgh will be entirely in English. There might be a French lady joining us, so then I might be doing a little bit of French translating if need be. But yeah, mostly in English. So that's just some kind of logistical stuff. And I just want to talk a little bit about what happens on a course. That's why we're here. And some of you maybe know already what happens on a course, but the beginning of the week starts with each one of you having an individual 4-hour session with either myself or Johanna, or both of us if we're doing it together. And this is like it's so powerful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's not an aura transformation. I guess it takes on a similar format, but it's almost like amplifying your aura transformation times 10. I remember the first time I did one of these mega grounding sessions for a new aura mediator, I was just like, whoa, that is way more powerful than any aura transformation I've ever experienced. So it is quite something. Obviously, it's still got that lovely crystal energy feel. It's gentle. It's activating, and it's really, there's a few things that go on. First of all, it's so grounding. It's really, really, really bringing all parts of you even more into yourself, into your body, into your personal platform of consciousness. It's almost like we're creating like this safe space, this home space for you on this planet that is yours, and you really find that place. It's almost like you find your feet where they need to be, and only you can have that. So it really brings you into your power, into more grounding, and in that way you become far more visible. Like your spirit energy, your aura, who you are, becomes far more visible to your surroundings and what you're doing in the world. obviously in a safe way, not like exposing you or anything like that. But just as far as you want to go, it will help you do that. But it's also another opportunity to have a really big clear out of all the patterns, cellular memory, ancestral patterns, your culture and environment's energy that starts encroaching in. Even when you've had an aura transformation, you're surrounded by people in the old aura. You live in places where there isn't loads of crystallized people. It's not like it gets in the same way as maybe before your aura transformation, but it's kind of can weigh you down. It can make you feel foggy. It can be like, oh God. And so having this 4-hour session, part of it is really making space, like really once and for all, like clearing that at a much deeper level than the aura transformation. So it's kind of epically balancing, as if you were going to have a balancing. There's elements of that. We're looking at your elements, your masculine, feminine. We're looking at where you're going, what you're doing, what's in your way, all that kind of stuff. So it's a really personal, really empowering 4 hours. And the result of having that session at the beginning, before the course even starts, is that you become ready to become you become an aura mediator already. The upgrade to your energy field after this session means that you are able to activate and aura transform others. And this brings us to what happens when we start the course. There's often quite a lot of, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, because your clients will be arriving within a few hours of the course starting. So there was a lot of debate over the years about, is that the right way to do things? And they tried it in different ways. And the conclusion every time was that this is the best way to do it, is to kind of throw you in the deep end and have you work with clients almost straight away. And actually, the magic of that is that your energy knows what to do. After that session, the 4-hour session you've had, your energy is already primed and ready to be like the blueprint of the new aura for your clients or whoever you're working with. So it's quite an intense 4 days of theory, practice. You're working in pairs or threes, depending on how many we are. So you're never on your own. You're taking turns to be the one holding on. You're supporting each other whenever needed. You're never left on your own in the room, for example. And then Johanna and I are walking in and out of all the different spaces where you guys are working and making sure that you're, just confident and at ease with what's happening, and that you start trusting what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're sensing. That's the main part, is that you can really trust the energy, the process, and yourself. And I think that's one of the biggest gifts that you take from doing this course, is that, it's hands-on. And what's also magical is the people you end up working with, like your buddy, your other aura mediator. You end up having so much stuff in common, or learning so much from each other. But also, you get matched with clients. Like, we don't even do it it's not like on purpose, but you're matched with clients when we just set up the timetable, that you end up resonating with, or you share like a deep resonance with, that you understand their journey and their story. You've overcome stuff that they're looking to overcome. So it's quite you're not just matched. It's never really uncomfortable, if that makes sense. It becomes a beautiful weaving in and out of learning how to do an aura transformation, learning to trust yourself. And really, I think one of the most magical parts of the course is just being in that energy for 5 days. It's like a portal opens in the house that we're going to work in. And the moment you step in there, you don't feel tired, you don't feel overwhelmed, you feel ready the whole day. They're long days, and it's incredible how everyone's like, wow, I still have energy and I'm still feeling really good. And then the next magical part is when you see your clients come back after the AT itself, a day or so later. And that experience when you first become an aura mediator, and to see the impact it's having on others, is like nothing else. It's beautiful. And so I can't really recommend it enough. And I absolutely love teaching it. Johanna loves teaching it. And it's about time that we start, being advocates or sharing this beautiful energy, or at least carrying it. You know, you're not obliged to become an aura mediator afterwards and practice. A lot of people come just for the upgrade and the knowledge and information that we go through. I think that's everything. Just actually quickly is that the requirements are to come and just be yourself. Come as yourself and be happy to learn and absorb and just have confidence in your abilities. And there is some and also to, you know, just know that you're going to get honest, constructive feedback and just be open to that, and also sharing with others. There's some reading that's kind of expected before the course starts, and that's the Balance on All Levels book, which most of you would have had, the Golden Energy, Golden Earth book, which has a lot of stuff about planet energies and all sorts in there, which is useful when you're working with people. And then the Crystallization book, part 1 and part 2. And that's helpful because it's showing you all the different kinds of things that can happen to clients and people, even 1 year after, 10 years after, whatever. It's like all sorts of case studies. And then the other requirement is that you start talking about aura transformation to people around you so that you can bring 2 people with you to the course. And obviously, if you live on the other end of the world and you're coming, then we will help you find people. But that's part of the training, is to actually be able to start talking about aura transformation. And I know that can be challenging, but the idea is that is, you know, the months leading up to the course is also part of the training as well. And there will be support during the course on, you know, how to be visible, a bit of, you know, how to get the message out there. You get given a whole presentation ready-made with slides and everything about talking, like how, you know, a whole ready-made presentation on aura transformation. I mean, I made mine a little bit my own because I wanted to, but basically all of that kind of stuff is there for you. After the course, you have 2 months where we're kind of holding space for the group. You'll have several phone calls, like coaching kind of calls, or like feedback calls, where you can let us know where you're at and we can see how we can help. And then there'll be a group call as well with whoever is on the course. So you don't just get like dropped straight after the course. There is an element of holding and being there for each other. And I think the people you meet on the course, like your other aura mediators, it's the kind of connections friendships and connections you don't forget. You know, I think most people stay in touch and support each other in different ways. And last thing is that the courses that I seem to be involved with tend to be very international. So you get to learn a lot about different kinds of energies and planet energies and elements and all that kind of thing from all the different experiences and energies that come to the table. Let's see if there's questions. I think that's everything. Okay, the date in Finland, I think it's the 22nd of March. We're doing 2 in March. The 3rd is the Edinburgh one, and I got the page up, so I'm not going to make things up. It's 17th of March in Lapland. So if you go to, I'll put the link. Have I already typed it? No, hang on. I'll put the link for you to see. So what you need to do to be able to join the course, the first step is actually, apart from having the AT, is to fill in an application form. It's all very, you know, low key. It's not like an exam. It's just like, let us know who you are, and then you will talk to probably me if you're on the UK one, or Johanna, or, you know, one or the other, and we'll just make sure that's the right time for you, you're in the right place, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll let you know, yes, you are accepted on the course. So really, if you want to get in, it's probably a good time to sign up. And so let me just copy paste the right page. So that is the UK one. And I'll get the Finland one. I'm making it so easy. There we go. Okay, what are the questions? Do we have to bring clients ourselves to Lapland? Well, if you can convince people that that's a very exciting way to have your aura transformation for a lot less, because, oh yeah, your clients, it's really, I would approach talking to new people about aura transformation, on having it on the course as an opportunity. Not only is it a lot less, like it's a lot cheaper to have it on the course. I don't know how much it is in euros for Lapland, but I think it's about £140 here. I can't remember what we agreed on now, and I can let you know. But it's £140, so it's like a third of probably what it costs in the UK. And if you can tell your people, like, okay, we're going to spend like 2 days, 3 days in, come for a weekend in Edinburgh, I don't think too many people complain. It's like a nice time. It's the same with going to the Arctic Circle and Lapland. There's a lot to see and do up there. It's like an adventure. So I wouldn't write it off that, oh my God, people won't come. You'd be surprised. And certainly if you put the intention out that the right people suddenly start asking questions. How do we get clients after being trained? Well, that's a good question, because there's lots of different ways for different people. So we recommend doing information talks. Like you could do them in a local center, or, like, what do they call them? Like a community center, or you could go to yoga. I did a lot in yoga studios and health centers, and you just start making connections and contacts. I mean, that's how I did it. So there's different ways for everyone. Some people write about it on social media. So you can make videos, you can have leaflets, a website, you can get some paid advertising, you can get like articles in magazines, you can join networking events if you prefer talking one-to-one with people. That's a nice way of building relationships in your community, letting them know what you do. So there's lots of ways, but it takes effort and consistency, I would say. Will there be any other trainings later in the year? Could you share a list of the books? Trainings, I'm hoping that, because I'm moving finally into a house just outside Edinburgh in February, finally, and it feels really good, but the dates aren't exactly clear. We're just waiting for the house to be finished, and so it's just not, it's not like I know exactly what the date is, but I think once I'm in that house, my intention is to do them every 3-4 months, something like that. So, and I'm still planning on coming to Australia, but it looks like I've pushed it to April, May now. So it's just because the house and then the courses, and then it's like my daughter's holiday time. So it was just like, okay, I can't go for a few months. And I also plan at some point to do a course somewhere between Canada and LA, or in between the two, but with Sophie, who does a lot of ATs in LA. So we were trying to figure out if we could find a way, because there's like 3 or 4 of you in Canada, and there's 3 or 4 down in LA, and is there a way we could combine forces and run a bigger course? But that's a little bit down the line. So I would suggest, if you want to start working with this energy and help build the interest and energy in your own country, like Canada, LA, Australia, whatever, then maybe do consider coming and having the training in the UK, because then you're the first one out there putting that energy out. And the more people aura transformed, the more people want to train, and then the more people are aura transformed, and then it's better for everyone. The more people are networking and talking about it, it builds. So I would recommend, if you want to get this done, to find the next course that's available to you, because we can't promise on this course in Canada and LA, wherever that might be. We can't promise dates, same as I can't promise dates in Australia just yet, just because we all have lives and stuff's going on in the background. But the intention is there, it's just don't know when. The list of books, should I just write them here? Is that helpful? Yeah. Balance on All Levels, you'll know that one. Then it's I think it's Golden Energy, Golden Earth, and Crystallization Process, Part 1 and 2. And then those are the essential reading. But then I would also recommend Golden Age, Golden Earth. That's the one. I would also recommend, if you want to inform yourself, get your power back now. Get your power back now, and the little energy guide. They're like small little pamphlet-y things, but they're a good pointer. Can we choose our time for the 4-hour session? Well, what we try and do is accommodate everyone. So if someone's coming from like really far away, they probably end up having their 4-hour session like the day before the course, whereas someone that lives locally might have to come 3-4 days before. You know, so we try and make it equal. You know, we put it out there, and you have to just kind of say, this is when my flight gets here, and then we try and fit you in the right place. But that's just definitely something we need to organize, you know, like as a team, work together to make it work for everyone. So yes, essentially you kind of can choose the 4-hour session, but we do 3 a day. So no, we do 2 a day. I thought we did 3 a day. Well, basically there's slots, you know, there's the morning slot, the after lunch slot, and the later slot. So it's kind of, so no, you can't choose outside of the slots, but you can choose your slot. Yeah. Do you have guidelines on costs for AT sessions afterwards? Are they standardized? Pretty much, yes. There is a kind of standard across the board for people that are trained. So I think it's kind of, we suggest starting between 300 and 350 pounds. But most people are doing 350, just set it at that and stick to it. And that's where all the Aura mediators are at, pretty much. The people that were trained 4 or 5 years ago, they're maybe still charging less, but they didn't realize that we upped it a little bit, because we believe that our work and our time and the Aura transformation and the results are very much worth that or more. And that people kind of maybe get a bit scared about starting to do an AT, and they're like, oh, or afraid of asking for money or something, and then they start bringing it down. So we kind of didn't want to stop people underselling it, because then you get the wrong people coming in that aren't going to value it, or start complaining that things feel uncomfortable, or the emotions and traumas are coming up, or blah, blah, blah. So if people understand the value before they start, and then know how to work with it, and then you're being remunerated for your time, there's a much better balance in the whole thing. But yeah, the instructors charge a bit more for just the experience and time. They have less time. But other than that, yes, there's a kind of standard. But with Australia, we'd have to set one. And yeah, so maybe we can have a chat about that at some point and discuss what would be fair. Because I'm struggling, I'm trying to put all my prices into Australian dollars right now, and it's kind of like, whoa, okay, that's different. So yeah, I try and work with whatever country I'm in. Yeah, but that seems like an okay, I don't know, for what it is, I think that sounds okay. But it's converted to, is that 300 or 350? 350, yeah. Yeah, well, we'll chat about it. But basically, Angela just put it in at 668 Australian dollars for 350 pounds. So yeah, it does sound like a huge difference. You know, if pounds sound like dollars, if you know what I mean, it's like 600 pounds all of a sudden. So yeah, I get it. So we can maybe chat what works. But you know, I think it's something that people can save up for and invest in themselves. It's not like something that I found is that I've talked about Aura transformation, like, I don't know, in a public hall in Goldgate, some small village or something. And then someone's come for an AT 4 years later because they felt ready finally. So often when you're talking about AT and like in different ways to different people and different places and different contexts, that it's not always like instant results. It's like, actually, the more you talk about it and the more you make yourself visible with that kind of work, the more people start to trust it over time. You know, at first they're like, sounds weird, I'm not going to even think about it. And then they hear it again, and then they hear someone else has it. So it all kind of builds up. Not only does it become easier, but yeah, just don't expect like direct. It's not like, what would you call it, like direct sales or something. It's more like building the trust in the modality and in you as a practitioner. Any more questions, or is that good? Well, what I think we could do is just a quick sorting energy together for like a few minutes. Just a nice way of ending, since we all know what we're doing. I'm gonna close my eyes. So I'm gonna turn my camera off. So anyway, thank you very much all for showing up. and for letting me rattle really quickly at you all the information. Feel free to ask any questions at any time, like email me or, just message me on Messenger. I really appreciate you all here, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the future. I just wanted to say I'm super dedicated to this, and it's maybe been a funny year for a lot of people, but I'm sure that 2020 is going to be a good year for the courses, and there'll be more of them as time goes on. Okay, so just take a deep breath. Just connect with your center, like a column of your essence and energy that runs through your center all the way through your core, like a pillar of your truth. Maybe it's been a while since you connected with it. Just finding the safe space that's always within you, that you can connect to anytime. And from that centered place, start drawing in your energy from everyone and everything and every place in your environment, in your life at the moment, even your past. Just demand your energy comes back to you. And it reinforces that pillar at your core and in your center. Makes you stronger, denser. Strengthens your whole system. Just reclaim your center. Reel in and gather in the mind. Calm the emotions. Still the nervous system. Sigh, breathe. Let all that energy settle back into your cells and your body. And now, with some power and conviction, send back, push away any energy that is not yours, that's in your field, that's around you. People's thoughts, emotions, people's problems, people's stress, the noise and bustle of everything. Technology, Wi-Fi, all that stuff, just make room for you, push it away. You can explode it off of you if you want. You can use fire and burn it away. No matter how lovely the energy of others is, it doesn't have to sit inside your body. Accept the gift, but return the energy. And just make sure you push any energy away from behind you on your back. And really allow any energy pushing around your head and your brain. This could be from media, from Christmas, from the environments you're in and the energy of the country you're in, and just lift that cloud from around your head. Just make some room and space. Feel it around you. This is your space. This is your sanctuary. It's your temple. This is your energy, and you get to look after it. Make that your gift to yourself. Great. Hopefully that feels nice and balancing. So I'll just say goodbye to everybody, and thank you for joining. And I'm hoping the replay has to upload and do its thing, so it might be a couple of hours, but I'll email it to everyone that registered. And if you know anyone else that would want to hear it, I can just send them a link. If you ask, you can share the link with others if you feel the call to. And yeah, message me anytime, and no worries, and apply. If you think it's the time for you, start applying, because I think that will get the energy rolling, and we'll get a beautiful group together. And lots of love from Switzerland, and yeah, talk to you soon. Bye everyone. Happy New Year and all that jazz as well. Bye.